All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rahak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. I'm Brother Shaman of Great Millstone, Chicago. Real quick, this is just a lesson because I was going back over the apostle did a lesson on inflation. And that's basically what we're seeing now, hyperinflation. All right. The scriptures talk about the love of many shall wax cold. And basically, what you're seeing is a setup for that because people are getting, less and less. All right. The cost of food is going up. All right. Even though, people might be getting, checks and stuff for now, that it's not going to last forever. You got the spiritual, confusion with these different laws enacted where children now have access to alphabet education, all right? And a lot of people are catching on to it. Like, why are you trying to teach my kids about sex? When they're not even old enough to do that. Why are you introducing them to be able to change, their sex, the way that they were made, which ultimately destroys them. All right. And, if you look here in this picture, hey, because this place was only great because the Most High allowed it to be great. All right. We know this is the place where Solomon sent his ships. All right. When they came back with lumber, they came back with gold, they came back with turkeys, different supplies, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the apostle was going into how the gold wedge of Ophir, it was talking about over here, all right? This place was rich in resources, and then, eventually Esau came back when they got set up in rulership, all right? But this is just a quick look. So I'm going to get to that in the scriptures next. This is $50,000 worth of lumber, just to give you a visual representation of what you can buy. At 2020, says you could have built 10 and a 20th, 10 and a little bit more of single family units. You could have did 10. Now in 2021, you could only buy 2. 2 and 1/10. All right, so that's nothing. So the prices on that is going up. And end of the day, man, because we know all this money is fiat currency anyway, the big question is, what are these people going to do when this place crashes? What are they going to do? These people who trust in Egypt, Egyptology. Egypt is so great. The heroes of Egypt and all. What are you going to do when all the money that people send in for donations and all of the little get-rich-quick schemes that all of these Egyptologists and people who worship Egypt, they do? What are you going to do when all that shit dries up? What's going to happen when these stores close? All right, people are going to have trouble getting fresh water, fresh food, and this shit is just going to get just crazy. All right, in Chicago, I can already see it, man, because Jake is already segregated. You already have certain stores with limited supplies in certain neighborhoods, and you already have what is it called? Food deserts. Okay, then you go in Esau's neighborhood, it's considered a food oasis. But if it's already a food desert, what's going to happen when that one place that services, blocks and blocks around, miles of people is cut off? All right, our people don't know and they have not considered. They have no idea. Matter of fact, Salakia, they do have an idea because they see us in the highways and byways preaching and teaching. For a lot of them, they've heard us and they don't want to listen. All right. and not seeing the signs, not understanding the time that we're in. All right, this is because this is Revelation 20:1. It said, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, which is in that same spirit as that serpent in the garden, because that serpent was a man. But he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." All right. And what does that go into? That goes into 1,000 years after Rome fell, through all of the different factors and the plagues that the Lord put on it, just like he put on the Egypt. All right. And then Jake went up into rulership. All right. But then it says he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And that's what we're in. We're in his season. All right, this is the little season that they get to rule. This couple 100 years where they've just had complete authority just to tear shit up, all right, and be able to design and have rulership over the earth, all right, and rulership over the nations of Israel until the time appointed. You know what I'm saying? Which, hey, we're in the beginning of that. We're in the that phase where Jacob is rising up, all right, calling on the living power. All right, but this is something interesting I found. Come on, go right to it. Okay, yeah, First Maccabees 8. All right, because when they were dealing with the Romans, which the Maccabees, they were actually they were fighting against the Greeks. But their brothers, the Romans, this is First Maccabees 8:1. It said, "Now Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them." And that 1,000 years, you know, I think it's from about, and don't quote me, I don't have the exact date, but it's from about, it's about what, about the 1400s, what is it, 400s, excuse me, 450, something around that time, all the way down to, you know, the time where Esau begins to rule, you know, the 1400s. All right, all that time Jacob was ruling. We ruled in the church, and that's why over that thousands of years, when you go back and you do history, that's kind of the hardest time period to find information and visuals on. All right, where they try to say it was dark ages, nothing happened, nothing in 1,000 years, nothing happened. 1,000 years? Come on now, 1,000 years, nothing happened. But then when you go into specifics and you begin to see who was ruling, and, you know, you even seeing some of the smaller pieces, you know, it talks about the Moors, you know, it talks about Jake in different locations in Europe and North Africa and West Africa. All right, even the tribes over here, all right, where they were flourishing. And then a lot of the tribes who were in the Caribbean, you know, they would go up the Mississippi River, and then they would go into different parts of the what is now the United States. All right, and Esau would sit here and lie and just tell you nothing happened. No, nothing happened. You know, it was nothing. All right, that's because they went in and they destroyed a lot of our images. And if they showed you these images, people are going to be able to put two and two together that we're really the Israelites. All right. But this says, verse 2, it says, "And that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute." Which later on, Paul would write letters to the Israelites who were captives under Galatia, okay, Corinth, all these other places, Romans, the Jakes who were in Rome too. All right, the whole Greco-Roman Empire. All right, this is verse 3. It said, and what they had done in the country of Spain for the winning of the mines of the silver which is there. And that's part of what made them great. And that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place, though it was very far from them. And the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had discomfited them and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them tribute every year. And when people say the scriptures are not historically accurate, well, that just means you must not know the scriptures. All right, because when you look this up, it said, and what they had done in the country of Spain for the winning of the mines of silver and gold, which is there. That's one of the things that made Rome great. And the scriptures say, what? It's an easy thing to make, for the Lord to make a man rich, time and chance. Time and chance happen to every man. All right. That's why ultimately, man, we're prioritizing the kingdom over a lot of stuff. A lot of our people, because you have access to the internet. Esau's on there. They might have some kind of little tips to you can make this and you can make that. And a lot of our people get caught up in that shit, not understanding it's ultimately the Lord that gives the increase. The scriptures tell you that. All right. Ultimately, it's the Lord that gives the increase, whether it be spiritual, whether it be physical, whether it be, whatever. Really, the increase you want is spiritual, man. That's the thing first and foremost. But like I said, the scriptures talk about it is an easy thing for the Lord to make a man rich. All right, but then it also tells you, for a rich man entering in the kingdom of heaven is like a camel through the eye of a needle. All right, and that camel has to crouch down, and we know that, if you're in that position, you're gonna have to crouch down. All right, you're gonna have to do more when it's time to give Esau the finger. You know what I'm saying? When they come with their protocol and their chip and their MOTB, all right, their wicked and their wicked device that to be inserted. Guess what? You might have to give up all of those things that you worked hard for, and a lot of our people are not willing to do so because they let their story overpower the plan that the Most High has for the elect. All right. Hey, I was born poor. I'm self-made, got on the internet, learned real estate, Bitcoin, whatever. All right, guess what? We all have a story. All of us, Jakes, we all went into captivity. All of us. All right? We're all of us. Now, some stories worse than others. That some brothers have more, like on the game, you turn on different levels of difficulty, you know what I'm saying? What's it called? A handicap. Yeah. Brothers have different handicaps, different personalities, different handicaps. All right? But guess what? Just like the disciples, hey, all those handicaps come together. Hey, you got to do the work of the Lord, all right, and put aside, petty ass differences, all right. But with Jake, they don't want to drop what they're doing because they figured out, look, we finally made it. We finally got our foot in the door. Not understanding, hey, the scriptures say, how are you rich men? Basically, these people who have these billions of dollars and millions of dollars, man, they're doing everything they can to try to rearrange shit because they can see that this shit is all worthless. All right, so Salaki for going on a tangent. All right, but it's just our people don't understand money, man. They don't understand currency. They don't understand possessions. All right, hey, we've been on this earth many times, and me and many brothers have, had this conversation before. Hey. Here in this kingdom, it's a little harder because you don't have as much possessions. We come from being servants. The scriptures say what? In a land of drawing water, they shall rehearse the righteous acts. Drawing water represents slavery. That was a menial task for a slave. All right, hey, in your past life, you might have been rich in many lives, man. You might have had hundreds, many wives and many lives. But here it is, the Lord has you doing something, so he's not going to allow you to be ensnared by women in this particular lifetime, because we're just not in the position, to have that same setup. All right. Hey, Esau is at the height of his rulership right now. Hey, and scriptures say what? Basically, it's a shame to be over busy from your maid. You know what I'm saying? When you have wives, you got to deal with them. You got to take care of them. You got to keep them emotionally grounded, and psychologically. You got to play Dr. Phil. All right. And doing this truth, man, it requires all hands to be on deck. So that's why, for a lot of brothers, the Lord just didn't give you that burden. All right, but the time is coming where these women are going to be looking to be saved. All right, some of them, not all of them. Some of them is going to be trying to just do anything, but some of them are going to. Many of them. Let me say it like that, because I don't know the exact number, but many of them are going to be looking for somebody who can help them receive salvation. All right, many of them are just going to be looking just to eat and just to see what you can do for them. All right, but those times are coming, and the Lord is preparing us for those.